This is the Stormy Willow podcast, a lighthearted, balanced examination of the paranormal. Hello and welcome to The Brood. I'm your host, Adele.
And I'm your host, Sarah.
And welcome to the show.
Welcome, friends, and Adele.
It is almost mid-June, and June is a busy month.
June is a very busy month, and it's also one of my favorite months.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
I don't know. It's somebody's birthday.
Yeah, it's like a lot of birthdays and pride going on everywhere. Yeah, so busy June.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, and speaking of pride, it's only like, 2 weeks out?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I'm super excited. Getting all kinds of stuff delivered here. And this room is like where I work and record. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, guys. So definitely come visit us at Rock Hill Pride Fest on June 24th. We have a booth and we have a lot of fun giveaways. So definitely come see us if you're in the Rock Hill, South Carolina area.
We have so many fun giveaways for you guys. Like, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, and there's even some, I think, really cool beverages at Pride this year.
Yeah, so, each year, this is the third year, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And so I was at a local restaurant, iPoppy, and the bartender there, he's like, I've been tasked to make a drink for Pride because, everybody's just real into it and it's really awesome. And he's like, I think this is what I'm going to do, but I want you guys to try it and tell me what you think. And I was like, this is delicious. I'm like, does it have a name? He's like, no, not yet. And I was like, may I suggest Stormy Willow? And it took. So when you go, if you're in Rock Hill, stop by during Pride and ask bartender JJ for a Stormy Willow Pride special at iPoppy. It was very delicious. It was like summertime in a glass.
Oh yeah,
but it was like a summer storm in a glass. Does it look real stormy? It was very nice.
Storm, yeah.
It was a summer storm in a glass, is what it was. So
what did it kind of taste like?
It kind of had a pina colada kind of feel to it. Very good. Very good.
Nice. So yeah, definitely sip on one of those while you're enjoying the festivities.
Yes, and I just have to say, I think it's so cool. I was riding around. Well, we live near downtown, and it's just so cool to see, the businesses, like with all of their Pride stuff, and all the breweries, like they have like these hot shirts that are Pride colored, and just everybody really getting together and supporting this event. Even though I will say who doesn't support this event is our own Rock Hill Town Council. So shame. But we still keep banding together and it keeps getting better and bigger. So sometimes we just have to not fight hate with hate and just make it bigger, more fabulous, and band together. And that's exactly what's happening here in Rock Hill. It's pretty amazing that it went from a parking lot to what it is now. Over 100 vendors. So excited to be a part of it. Stormy Willow is so honored. We were a supporter last year. We donated, and then this year we actually have a booth. So we're pretty excited. And then I'll tell you more on our events page. If you live in the Rock Hill area, there's stuff happening that entire week, and we're also going to be recording live at Pride After 5. So that is going to be a really good time too, with businesses that are proud to say, hey, we're here and we support LGBTQ plus community, and those are the kind of businesses I want to support. So I think it's going to be just a really cool, awesome time. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I was going to tell you too, most of these events, especially on the big event that Adele are going to be at on Saturday, it's free too. So like, we know that the summertime, and we know that everything is so crazy expensive, and you're looking for fun things to do. This is a free event, and it is a kid-friendly Pride, believe it or not. So if you have little ones, what a cool way to expose them to some culture and drag and fun, and it's just a really good time. So if you're looking for something free and fun and educational, you should
definitely head on out.
And come tell us a ghost story or something.
Yeah, so definitely come see us. Stay tuned on Instagram. We'll be promoting the heck out of this up until the time. So, we'll have details on where to find us and the times and how to enter our raffle for our
It's awesome. I'm
fun
probably
free
going to enter the
giveaway.
raffle as well. I'm going to take everybody else's card tickets out. I'm just put my name in. Kind of like how I always keep getting theory on the wheel. And I may come home with the prize. I don't know. It's pretty cool. All the little things we keep adding to it. I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah, we have some cool stuff.
We have some really cool stuff. We're really excited. And we also are going to have a really amazing photo opportunity for you and your friends. So you won't want to miss that.
Yeah, so definitely come on out and see us.
Please, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have such a good time, I tell you. Well, speaking of events, should I just go ahead? I mean, since we're talking about events,
yeah, sure.
Well. So, like you said, June is in full swing, you guys. And so June 16th through the 18th, we've got Monster Bash 2023 happening in Pittsburgh. It's going to be at the Marriott North, and it's a horror convention. So you're going to have a film festival, and there's going to be a place where you can meet fellow fans, and you can kind of just check out new series of classic horror and science fiction films. And they're going to have a little monster memorabilia shopping center as well. So it might be a cool place to pick up some fun stuff. So sounds like a good time. June 23rd through the 25th, we have Days of the Dead in Indianapolis 2023. It's also at the Marriott. I feel like the Marriott Center is just like the place to host.
Maybe they have a partnership. I don't know.
I'm wondering.
Marriott. Do you have like a horror club or something?
We need to maybe do some research or find somebody that's in this Marriott circle and what's going on with the Marriotts.
Yeah, perhaps when Stormy Willow travels, we'll start staying at the Marriott.
Perhaps we will.
We shall
that
see.
could be fun. Well, they've got this is also another horror convention, and it's going to be in the daytime, but it's going to carry over into the dark of night. And they're going to have epic parties, crazy happenings, late night events, and it also is going to have just a lot of fun, a lot of people out there just to kind of hang out that love horror like us. And as Adele mentioned at the top of the show, Rock Hill Pride, June 17th through the 25th, you guys. So if you can go to themercantile.com. You can also Google it on search for on Facebook, and they've got a list of happenings every single day happening. And then also, I wanted to give a huge shout out to there's going to be a June 16th through the 18th in downtown Atlanta. There's a Juneteenth parade and music festival happening in Centennial Olympic Park. So I think that is amazing. I'm super excited. My company, this is the first year we've had Juneteenth off, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think this is something that's really made, we're kind of more aware of it, and it should 100% be celebrated. And I'm really excited about celebrating it this year. And so I hope that your community is doing something fun, a parade or some kind of acknowledgement for Juneteenth. So it's, I'm really excited to see what we've got lined up here in Rock Hill for it, and maybe take part and check that out as well.
In case you don't know what Juneteenth is, it was the very last day that all people in slavery were officially set free.
Yeah.
Even though they were lied to and kept in slavery.
Yeah.
The news finally got to everybody.
Yes. And if you ask me, that's the real Independence Day right there. in a sense. In a sense. So I just think that it is, I'm so excited that, and it makes me sad, but I'm going to celebrate the good things. It's so nice to see this on the calendar finally. I think a lot of companies are starting to acknowledge it. A lot of places are starting to acknowledge it, which is sad because it should have always been a huge thing. I don't know that we even talked about it in school. I know we talked about the things we don't talk about in history class, and I remember not really even knowing anything about this until a few years ago, and I'm in my 40s. So that's not cool, guys. So I'm super psyched that people need to know more about it and celebrate it because it's really huge. So yeah, maybe check out if your town doesn't do any Pride or Juneteenth celebrations. Get on them, make it happen. You can make your look at Mercantile. Like you can make these things happen in your own parking lot, and these are things that can catch on and become a really cool thing for your community as well.
Cool.
So Adele, what kind of forecasts are we looking like this week? As we're in the thick of it. What do we need to be prepared and mindful about?
Well, just I don't know if anybody else felt it, but if you listen to the show for the past several weeks, it's been horrible astrological forecast, just awful time. I just felt like that completely broke on Thursday. For me, I don't know if it was anybody else, but Thursday, I woke up and it just felt like it completely, everything just felt different. So I do think that energy will continue. So guys, this is your June 12th through the 18th astrological forecast.
Okay, here we go.
And this is compliments of mindbodygreen.com. From the Astro Twins.
Astro Twins. We need to probably we can cut this if you want to, but we should probably do some kind of intro with the forecast to just be Astro Twin forecast. Yeah. Because we just always go to them. I think Adele and I both, they just break it down so nicely, and damn, they're accurate. Even when I don't want them to be, when I'm they're gonna be wrong. They're not. They're always on point.
Yeah. Sometimes it might not hit the exact day, but I don't know. The past few, I'm sticking with them.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't want to hear it, they just they're just the messengers.
Yeah. Yeah. So according to the Astro Twins, I call this Wonder Twins Activate because it's Gemini season. Right? Okay. And they're twins. So, Thursday, June 15th, Mercury enters Gemini.
Okay.
So this might be time when you want to get into all the hot goss and talk and, be super in the know on stuff.
No, okay.
But just be mindful that could get you into some hot water. So maybe not gossip too much.
Watch the shit talking.
You want to maybe just restrain yourself a little bit.
Maybe just listen to Stormy Willow instead.
There you go. And that's all.
I'm just listening to my podcast. I don't want to. No.
Yeah. So Thursday, June 15th, you might, want to get into some of that chat, but maybe refrain. Also be mindful of just oversharing. There is such a thing as TMI. So with this Gemini energy, you might be kind of a jabberjaws, but maybe give other people a chance to talk.
Okay. All right. I'll see what I can do.
Try to listen a little bit in between what you're saying.
Okay. I'll try.
And maybe really err on more political correctness in some situations.
No.
Or be a little bit more formal with people. It might feel awkward and uncomfortable because the energy is wanting you to be really let's just shoot the shit. But maybe try to just, keep some
rein it in a little
boundary, right? Okay. So just try not to overshare. Try to listen a little bit more and not do all the talking.
Okay.
It's not so bad.
We've been through worse. Way worse, guys.
Oh.
Way worse. We can do this. We can listen.
Yeah. So just take a breath, come up for air from all your talking and let somebody else do a little bit of talking. And also just don't jump to conclusions. If something comes up that seems ambiguous and you feel a certain way, instead of jumping to being oh, that's what they meant, just ask them to clarify and you might realize it's not what you thought.
Okay.
All right. And also during this time, Saturn goes retrograde for 4.5 months. And it will back up to Pisces for the first time since the mid-90s.
Oh, I wonder if we're going to feel some nostalgic energy.
I hope so. I watched Tank Girl the other night, and that just made my day.
Was that on Thursday when you felt like everything was going to be okay?
Maybe I watched the Wednesday before, and it changed
and
everything.
You felt that. You woke up, and you're like, it's the 90s, it's fine.
Yeah, I decided that
my docs and rock and roll.
I have to. Well, and really, what's really funny is a bunch of the songs from that movie. I was like, oh, these are all on my playlist that I listen to like every day. I was
It's
like,
fun. The nostalgia, though, it's the best.
and I'm so dumb. Like, I used to watch this. I digress, but I used to watch that movie a lot. I think it used to come on like Comedy Central even back in the day.
Yeah.
I had no idea that the lead, like the sporting actress, is Naomi Watts.
Oh, yeah, it is. I didn't really realize that. It's like I knew that, but I didn't know that. Does that make
I
sense?
I had no idea. One of those kangaroo mutants is Ice-T. And I
That's
know
so
exactly which one
funny.
but I was like, that was Ice-T? I didn't know that when I was a kid.
Don't you think it's so funny when you make those connections and you're like, really? How did I know that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
You're
double
watching it.
one, everything she says, like all the one-liners, I was like, oh my God, she's so funny. And I went right over my head as a kid.
Yeah, same, same.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you guys are feeling nostalgic, maybe watch Tank Girl.
Always feeling
Um,
nostalgic.
and also at this time, I know I've especially been doing this. If you've been kind of escaping reality, like I've definitely not been watching the news, not participating in stuff. I've
Same.
just been in my own little oasis in my backyard on my hammock, not thinking about any bad crap in the world.
That's why you look so refreshed and nice.
I know, but now it's time to come back to Earth.
Oh no.
Is
No, no, no.
what this whole Saturn
Oh,
retrograde and the
yes.
whole back up to Pisces thing means. So
Oh, I've been doing that too. We've been camping out in the bus and it's been
yeah,
so nice and just not listening to any news. And it's just like I do feel nice. It's hard.
right. So if you're like us and have
All
been
right.
escaping reality, you're gonna go back to Earth, but it's gonna be okay because this is a time to really cultivate your spiritual and artistic talents. So this is kind of like time to get back to the basics because maybe what you've been focusing on is, you know, let's say like trigonometry, but you need to get back to just simple
Yeah.
fundamentals of math right now.
No, that's cool.
So we're just getting back to the fundamentals and making sure we have our basics down before we start moving on to the bigger things.
Like, oh,
And
that was good.
then June 18th, we have a new moon in Gemini. So this means be on the lookout for your little wonder twin.
A doppelganger, maybe?
I know.
Perhaps.
Not necessarily a doppelganger, but maybe like your kindred spirit. So whatever activity you're considering, like if you need a workout partner or you're trying to start like some of those new regimens that we talked about under
Yes.
Taurus's energy the other month, maybe this is that person that's going to help, motivate you.
And can I
And
just say I have these people in my life? So shout out to Heidi who listens and Chastity and Rachel and all of my FIA friends and running buds. They're my people. And it really makes a difference to have somebody that's in your like that wants you to be healthy and or whatever it is and that shows up, instead of like, actually doesn't just say it, but these ladies are waiting for me at 5 a.m. Like we do hard things together and it does help when you have people like that. So if you haven't found your person, I send that to you on the 18th. Like I really hope that you find that in whatever endeavor it is that you're, wanting to create. It doesn't have to be working out, but whatever positive thing it is you're wanting to cultivate in your life, it helps to have somebody on your side.
yeah, and this definitely sounds like the time to find this person. And they might just be hiding in plain sight, like right in front of your face. It
Oh,
might be
that
somebody you
fun.
already know, or it might be someone
Yes.
you're an acquaintance with, but they kind of hang out on the other side of your friend group.
It might be somebody you meet at Pride Festival, just saying, or a
Could
Juneteenth
be.
festival. So you might want to get out there.
Well, that leads right to it. It is time to go socialize. So this is the time to go and connect with your kindred spirits. So you need to get out and be social right now.
I mean, we're a
Um,
community for a reason, right? I love it. Don't be alone.
yeah. Or if you're usually that person that says no to invitations, now's the time to accept them and go.
Awesome.
Um, and Neptune will also be squared at this time, which can kind of blur boundaries. So this is kind of getting into your socializing, maybe connecting with people that have good energy or your kindred spirits, but don't label them as your BFF instantly. Like get to know them a little bit.
This is my best friend. We just met 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. So just kind of pump the brakes a little bit on.
You don't want to scare them off either.
Yeah,
You always want
exactly.
to be
So
strong.
Maybe have a
Unless
few
they're just
friend
like
dates.
you, maybe you do. I don't know.
Right. So both of you. That's why you both need to set some boundaries. Take it a little slower.
Take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
And this could be a time of very easy distractions as well. So it really is important to have that person that you need to keep you on track.
I love that.
And that's it.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't want to like curl up in the fetal position after that, like I have
yeah.
most of our forecast.
I mean, it sounds like potentially worst case, you might socialize too much.
That's okay. So we're going to remember to listen more than we talk this week, and we're going to get out there.
Yeah.
Go back to basics, and we're going to do something nostalgic that makes us happy.
We're going to watch Tank Girl and drink some
We're going to watch Tank Girl. We're going to drink a Yoo-hoo and wear our Doc Martin combat boots, and everything's going to be fine.
And just speaking of Yoo-hoo, which if you're watching, I am drinking right now. I can't find this crap anywhere. I can only find it at the Dollar Tree.
Is it because it's not really big in New Mexico, or is
I don't know if
it's not a big thing, period, anymore?
I have no idea. Same thing with all the hard candies. I was like, I can't find Gobstoppers. I found out I think they stopped making them.
Oh.
And Runts. I think they probably stopped making those too.
I don't think I've seen Runts in a long, long time now that you mention it, or Gobstoppers.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout. I'll stock up for you if I see any.
Yeah. I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe people got tired of breaking their teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. The dentists are probably like, bring them back. We need more money.
For real. Yeah,
just give them out whenever you leave. Like, here you go. Enjoy your Gobstoppers.
But yeah, kind of weird.
I love it. Speaking of fun things, so I went to the local farmers market, and I told Adele, I got too excited. I couldn't keep it a secret. There was this really lovely booth where I got these earrings that you can't see, but it's Dolly Parton. It says, "What would Dolly do?" And I was going through all their little stickers, and they had all these fun stickers, and they had a little tiny Bojangles bow box. And I literally laughed so hard. And I bought that for you. And I was like, wow, this is great. This is so awesome. So, like, just so you know, like, Bojangles is a big deal around here. Like,
or at least to us. I'm starting to realize it's really not. It's just a big deal to us.
I mean, I did scream, and I think I scared everybody. I was like, ah! It's a brown box. Yeah, that's exactly what I did too. That is exactly what I did. But it's pretty cute, and I can't wait to give it to you. You're gonna love it. Adele and I can tell that we're getting old because we spent like the last break talking about our digestion.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying, if you haven't seen them, they do have Oreo s'mores. They're delicious, but you pay for it. Yeah. That's all I'll say.
So stay away. Stay away.
Or just eat them directly on the toilet.
There you go. I was like, I'm just going to save myself a trip. Oh my gosh. So do you recall what my topic was last week?
I think you were like super excited about landing on Theory.
I was, because I never get Theory, you guys. So I was really super pumped that I landed on that one again. So Adele gave me an option though to pick my own topic, but I did not. I played by the rules. I know, but I didn't. And so I went on a limb with this one. You have any inkling like what I could have done?
Theory of relativity.
I really went on the limb.
A limb by it's barely a theory, or a limb by it's a theory that's really weird.
A theory that's really weird.
Positivity?
No, but that would have been a good one.
Oh, then I have no idea.
All right. Well, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons.
Oh no, not this. Okay.
You look at her face is great.
I appreciate The Simpsons. I've just never been able to get into it. But yes, it is very eerie. Some of the things that The Simpsons have seemed to predict.
Yes. And that's what we're going to really talk about today is there are a lot of theories floating around out there about The Simpsons and how they just tend to really predict the future. And what is it? Like, do they have some kind of secret map, or do they hold some kind of key? And is it a way that, they give us little hints on what's to come? So, as I said, I really went out on a limb because even like if you aren't a Simpson fan, like Adele said, it's kind of spooky. Like some of the stuff, like there's no denying that it's a little like, oh God, that happened on The Simpsons, and not just one time, but quite a lot of times. So we're going to get into it. But first, I want to thank my Simpson sources here: BBC News, Collider.com, TheSun.com, theavclub.com, sjhexexpress.com, moviesweb.com, mentalfloss.com, and pinkvilla.com. So let's just get into it in case you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or, we do have a younger crowd and they might be like,
what are the Simpsons?
No idea, like, what the Simpsons are about. So let's just start at the basics here. So the Simpsons have been entering families' home for more than 30 years now. Isn't that crazy? It is the longest running American scripted sitcom, period. It's crazy because, I remember when The Simpsons came out. I was really little and they're still going strong. So pretty successful. And they're also lately have been known about predicting the future, which I think adds a really spooky little element to it. So the writers have been asked about this, and this is what the writers have to say. So the writers of The Simpsons say, okay, we have literally made hundreds and hundreds of episodes. And they said, so if you really looked at their predictions, that maybe 10% turn out to actually come true. Like, which isn't really that great of an odd when they're like, you look at how many episodes we've written. And then they also claim that they just watch human behavior and just make guesses, and that humans do stupid stuff and history tends to repeat itself, and they just make just guesses of what could possibly happen. So they say there is no magic behind it. They just say that it's just a statistic thing and that their numbers aren't really that phenomenal if you break it down and look at it in terms of episodes. But other people are like, no, there's no way. There's definitely magic behind it. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I Googled just some. This isn't even all, but these are some of the things that the Simpsons have predicted. They predicted the petrol shortage back in 2010. They predicted Kamala Harris's vice presidency. The UK's their whole like lockdown. Remember with how strict their COVID lockdown was. Donald Trump's rise to power. Tom Hanks getting a coronavirus. The dramatic Game of Thrones finale. Lady Gaga's Super Bowl halftime performance. U.S. voting machine issues. Prince's death. The invention of the smartwatch. Canada legalizing weed, and September 11th.
Jeez.
I
don't remember. Wow, September 11th.
Yeah.
How did they possibly joke about that before it happened?
Yeah. So it's and this isn't even all of them. Like, this is just a little thing.
Yeah. So I think the one I know best is like of Trump going down the escalator or up on the escalator. Like, yeah, he actually did that in real life, and like they'll show it like side by side.
It's
like identical.
It's really crazy. And so, the writers just claim, like I said earlier, that it's just really no magic. But theorists say otherwise. And so here's some of the theories that people say of how the Simpsons tell us the future. So one is the Freemasons. Now, are you familiar with the Freemasons? I don't think anybody really knows who they are or what they are. Like,
I don't think anybody knows what they really do.
Like, I think it'd be really funny if they just didn't do anything and it's just like just a joke. We just make
I
people think.
kind of thought that's more what it was. I thought it was just more like a social club, and they don't actually do anything.
I think like don't you have to like have a family member and they bring you on like
You can't be a woman.
You can't be a woman. Yeah, it's
Which
just
I don't know how they're. Well, I guess it's private.
yeah. So
I don't know.
there is some talk that Matt Groening, he's the show's creator, is a high level Freemason, and so that he has been detailing the world's truth through symbolism through The Simpsons and given us little signs of what's to come. So apparently he's a part of this huge secret society with intimate knowledge of human experience, past, present, and future. So that is one theory.
I think that's giving the Freemasons way too much credit. They don't know any of that.
So there's that theory. Second theory, time travelers. So one theory suggests that the Simpsons creator, Matt, who we just talked about being the high-level Freemason, is also a time traveler, and that all of the ideas and predictions that we see in The Simpsons basically come from his traveling experience. So a few years ago, a 69-year-old artist bought some Simpsons watercolor paintings at a Seattle area thrift store and thinks that they were actually made by Matt when he was a student at Evergreen State College more than a decade before The Simpsons began airing on the Tracy Ullman Show. And so it says that Bart can be seen as a giant skateboarding, and then there's the Butterfinger candy bar logo, and they just believe it's just from a time when Matt was just traveling along, which I think it just seems, I can't make that connection. It just seems very weird. I think it's just some art that they picked up at a flea market.
I don't understand why they think that has anything to do with
time. I don't either. I'm like, I don't make the connection, but they're saying that that's a connection because they found it before The Simpsons ever aired. But I'm like, so yeah, he's been playing around with those ideas before it got picked up. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he had for years worked on The Simpsons before it was the show.
Yeah, but this person claims no, it was an artifact. I'm like, I don't know. No. It's a theory. But do you remember the Tracy Ullman Show? Do any of you guys remember it? It is amazing, and that's where The Simpsons came from. It was like a little skit from Tracy Ullman, and she would always be like, "Oh, go home," at the end.
I vaguely remember that.
She is amazing. She does a really good Camilla impression as well. Like she's a bomb. But anyway, yeah, I had a really hard time with that theory. I just like, I'm so confused. Like how, I mean, that would be like me. That would. Like I found these at this thrift store 10 years before The Simpsons ever aired. Well, I mean, he really could have just have already been thinking about this idea for years, like you said, and like drawing it out and like, doing all the things. I don't think that really means that he's a time traveler.
That's like finding the script of The Godfather before it was made. It's like, duh. Of course, they had to write the script first.
Yeah. So they claim that this is evidence.
Okay, I'm not buying it.
And then I was like also just kind of Googling these theories, and one kid, he wrote this whole paper about it, and this is what he said. He said, he's like, Matt's next show is Futurama. Hello, time traveler. So those are they named it Futurama. So those are the two hard evidences for a time traveler. And I think they're pretty convincing theories, both of them.
Okay. Okay.
So that's your time traveler theory. And I think
because he made Futurama.
Like, hello, he's giving you a clue. He's a time traveler.
But even in Futurama, I don't think there's time traveling. Like, Fry gets frozen and wakes up. In the current time, it just so happens to be in the future to him, but it's still the present. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah. He said that he's like, hello, he's giving you the biggest clue that he's a time traveler. He named it Futurama. So those are your two really strong cases. Like, I'm leaning towards time travel for sure because, I mean, whoa. The evidence is concrete.
I I'm
Read
leaning
the clues.
towards a pact they made with like Satan or something, and that whatever episode they write becomes true.
Oh no.
So they're writing the future. They're not.
Okay.
They control it.
So
They're time
basically
lords.
everything that happens, we're like, thanks a lot, you guys. You wrote this into
Yeah.
existence.
Mhm.
I like that
They better
theory.
start writing some happy endings.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not laughing these last
What
four
if you know
years.
how that show is still on? Like
Oh
it's
yeah, it's still on.
maybe because people are like, if we end the show, the world ends. So they're like, we
Maybe,
have
maybe
to
it's
keep
like
the Simpsons going.
we can't end the Simpsons ever. Like, do you want to die?
Do you want everything to end? Then the Simpsons have to stay on.
It has to stay on. God. That's probably true. Somewhere so out there, they're like, you can't cancel The Simpsons. You want to cancel life as you
You
know
see,
it.
right? You see what happens? Like, God, no, don't cancel the Simpsons.
Please don't cancel The Simpsons.
We like being alive.
Listen, if we catch word that The Simpsons is being canceled, then that will be your time to prepare. That's doomsday prepping, like accelerated to next level. It's like it's happening, guys.
Yeah, guys, stop watching the news, any of that. Just
Stop
watch the
watching The
TV
Simpsons.
lineup. The TV guide is what you need to be
You need to
seeing.
be watching.
Whenever
It's like
whenever you stop seeing The Simpsons, you stop seeing the future.
as you said in our horoscope that we needed to get back to reality. Well, I'm gonna start watching The Simpsons. I'm like, well, I watched The Simpsons this week, and I knew this was coming.
I'm going to continue to not watch The Simpsons, but appreciate that it's on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you start watching the news and I'll watch The Simpsons and let's compare notes.
I'm not going that crazy. I'm not watching the news again. It's also the writer's strike. I usually get my news just from Bill Maher, but he hasn't been on during the strike.
Yeah.
So I'm lost, but I don't care.
All right, so this next theory, guys, and we could actually do an entire series or 10 on this. I have never heard of this, and I want to know if you have. It's called the Akasana Records. Have you ever heard? Or I'm sorry, Akasna Records is what it's called. Akasna Records.
Mm-mm.
I have never heard of it in my life, but this is what it is. Okay. So, according to my friends at Wikipedia, these are records. It's basically like a huge library. It's a compilation of all universal events, thoughts, words, emotion, intent to have ever occurred in the past, present, or future. And it's basically in the terms of like any entity or life form, not just human, that have had like a thought or something happen to them. This is stored in this record. This Cosmo record, and they believe that there are ways that's been encoded, and that people can basically access these records through some kind of mental time travel type thing. And they believe that these writers have mastered how to channel that knowledge without realizing it. There it is.
Isn't what so they're saying that there is this thing that's a record of everything. How is that not just the universe?
It is pretty much. And so I'm telling you, I'm kind of interested in it, and like I really want to learn more about it. But for purposes of The Simpsons, like I didn't really dive deep into this, but they're just saying somehow this writers are like
accidentally psychic.
Like we accidentally were able to become psychic, and that's how we write Simpsons.
Maybe it's almost like automatic writing, but through animation instead of words. Is that kind of what they're getting at?
I think so. And like somehow they tapped in how people have been trying to figure out how to access these records for generations, and they're like somehow they think maybe one of the writers or the writers have figured out how to do it, whether they realized it or not, and that's how these thoughts and feelings are able to come to them. So that's another theory.
Or is it because, I don't know, what if it's like some sort of magic? Let's say it's that, but you know how like supposedly in some magic you need more people to believe in like that energy. That's why like a coven.
Like Halloween Town?
Yeah, like you need the collective.
Right.
Maybe they're creating a collective through the fans in their shows. So by presenting them with this could be scenario and everybody focusing on it at the same time, which is prime time or whenever the show airs, it makes it happen and manifest it.
That's a good one.
I mean, I'm just full of theories, guys.
It's all something.
Might be the Yoo-hoo talking. I don't know.
Like, it might be the milk, but
there's no milk in this. It's chocolate water. It's just chocolate water. Drink. It doesn't even say milk. I don't care. It's delicious.
Okay, so those are our theories. What do you think? Do you have one that you're leaning towards? Like, I love your theories. I am leaning towards a little more statistic theory personally. I think that for real, like, these people have been writing these shows since the 80s. And unfortunately, history really does repeat itself. We don't really they're like, you just kind of watch human behavior and you almost can predict what is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. So I think it's a little bit of that.
And obviously they're very good at observing people, or else your show wouldn't be a success.
Exactly.
Because it wouldn't resonate. Like, I don't know. I think this is a classic case of when somebody is extremely good at something, people assume they like witchcraft.
Exactly. They're witch. Well,
they have something extra. And it's like, they're just really good at what they do.
I think they're just, like you said, I think they're really good at predicting human behavior, which isn't really a magic. It's just really, observing. And then you figure they probably, like most writers, like they probably really are very bright as far as like knowing what's going on with politics and like, famous people and all this stuff. So they probably know or are always informed. So they're able to be like, oh, well, I could see this happening, like Donald Trump running for president, like, and
oh yeah. I mean,
and they're like, and he said that he would. And that's the thing, is like, we were watching old interviews and stuff that were from him where he did say that. So they're like, so we really, like, he said it. So we're like, oh, we can make this in, like, yeah, like, put it into the show. Like, how funny would this be? And terrifying. And like, but it
really happened. Yeah.
It really happened. So that's what I lean towards.
That they're actually just listening to what people are saying more, whereas everybody else dismisses them. They're like, okay, sure, you might really do that.
Yeah, and like let's draw it up, and make it.
Let's run with that. What would that be like? And then they're incredibly accurate as to what it would be like.
Exactly. And I mean, I think, whether you're a huge Simpson fan or not, like you said, I think there's definitely a respect level for these writers. I mean, it seems like that kind of job is so difficult to like really make it in. And like they've been employed for like 30 plus years writing for the same show. Like, that's pretty amazing. That's security that I think a lot of people don't have in that industry, because your shows are constantly getting canceled and this and that. And it's like, I think they probably have the, like, I don't know, just like a dream, to work together that long. So would you like to know what the Simpsons see in our future?
Sure. Stormy, Willow in particular, or all of us?
No, all of us. All of us. All right, are you ready? Economic crisis. The show's writers have predicted that there will be another financial meltdown in 2023. In the 24th season of The Simpsons, Homer is seen sitting with a friend in a prep school. Homer appears to be worried and says that he doesn't think society can survive another economic collapse.
Yeah.
All right.
Are any of us going to be surprised? Like, it's bad. It's bad. It is bad, bad, bad. And everybody's just continuing because we have to. But nobody is doing anything to change any of it. It can't. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. I don't think The Simpsons are the ones seeing that coming.
Well, get ready for the next one.
Okay.
U.S. and China go to war.
Ooh, I hope not.
Another YouTube video about The Simpsons predicts one of the scariest predictions made on The Simpsons for 2023 happens to be one where they suggest there could be a nuclear war between the U.S. and China. In one of their episodes, the news anchors can be heard saying, "It is with great sadness that I inform you that America and China have declared war. A massive nuclear attack is expected to reach our shores within the hour." So let's hope that doesn't happen.
I hope not. I mean, it could, though. I know it's always a possibility, though, right? Like, I feel like our whole lives, it's always been talked about like, ooh, we might go to war with China. I hope we don't go to war with
Yeah,
China. Oh,
that's
you got to keep
true.
China in check. Oh,
Mm-hmm. It's true. Now this next one could be interesting. Um, zombie virus outbreak.
Okay, now that's weird because I was just listening to Let's Read, which is I highly recommend that podcast if you like true scary stories.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of it's really dark though, but
Oh,
like it would be anything from Wendigo to witnessing like a murder,
oh,
like
geez.
or
Okay.
okay. But they were talking because there is this thing I often hear about with like Wendigo stories, and they're like they say they're non-deer, right? Or like it's deer, but it's not a deer. But then somebody
Mm.
was also talking about how they're I can't remember the name of it, but it essentially creates zombie deers. Like it's kind of like
Oh,
this.
why do I feel like I've heard
Yeah,
a
it's like
story like
and
this?
it's
It
like they
sounds
can like kind of rot
familiar.
alive. Like
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. I feel like I've seen something on YouTube or something about this.
yeah,
It's really, really weird.
it's something that like occurs naturally. Like it's a disease that deer spread to one another and
Right.
makes them like really drooly. I think they get really sickly and just they kind of behave like zombies, but it sounded like it could spread to humans. Like if that were to get out of control. I mean like an extreme situation, which I'm
Like
like
someone with
that's a little scary though.
a So this is what the Simpsons say. The Simpsons predict that there will be a zombie virus outbreak in 2023. As per a TikTok post, the episode showcases how a burger turns into a zombie apocalypse after high quality cows were made into meat sauce, and then the meat sauce was fed to the cows. Humans made the cows into hamburgers and ate them, and then they became zombies.
Okay. That's why we all need to go to Impossible Meat.
That's right.
Okay, it's called chronic wasting disease. Is
Yeah, I feel like I know what you're talking about. Yes.
yeah.
Maybe don't eat deer
Affects
meat, guys.
yeah, it affects deer, elk, reindeer, and moose.
Reindeer.
Yeah. Yeah, reindeer. They're real. Like real reindeer. But yeah, that's what it's called. It's called chronic wasting disease. So I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
That's just kind of
Maybe
weird
now might
timing that
be a
they
good
came up.
time to go plant-based, guys. I mean, just looking at these odds, maybe for the year, just save yourself. I mean, this is the most terrifying of them all. Trump's 2024 presidential run. While Donald Trump announced that he will be running for the 2024 presidential elections last year, it was already predicted by The Simpsons.
Oh
The
yeah.
Simpsons producer Al Jean took to Twitter to share the image of a 2015 episode of the series, which features Homer Simpson flying the Trump 2024 campaign sign in the background. The show had previously also predicted Kamala Harris's run for the vice presidency. So, and then last but not least, Mars travel. The Simpsons season 27 consisted of an episode called Marge as in, Marge, Margian Chronicles, where Marge and Lisa volunteered to become the first humans to travel to and live on the Red Planet. There's no mention of 2023. It's one of those episodes that discusses the future as an exploration. A private company hopes to send people to the planet to colonize it by the year 2026. The episode further showcases the mother and daughter living on Mars by the year 2050. So, yeah. Yeah. And then for those of you that are huge fans of The Simpsons, I did look at like theories just about the show in general. And I thought this was kind of fun, like reading like the fanfare. And some people say that Homer is in a coma and he's been the entire time. And so all of these things that happen are just happening in his brain while he's in a coma.
Mm.
Um, all the Simpsons are geniuses, not just Lisa. Homer is still accepting royalties from the B Sharps because of what there's no way he could afford on his wage to live like the way he does. And Springfield, where they live, exists outside of space and time.
Okay.
So there you go. There's your episode on The Simpsons.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I think
It is.
I just remember this kind of hitting its height, I think, during the pandemic. Like people were
Yes.
really like, what?
I think, yeah, the pandemic and I think Trump. I think
Yeah.
really got it was like, whoa, this happened on Simpsons.
Yeah, they're just like, tell us what comes next.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope they're wrong with their predictions for 2023.
I mean, they're in the know. One, like they just seem like, they follow pop culture and like politics and
Oh,
news.
sorry, you froze up on me there.
Oh, well, it seems like they probably won, yeah, just are well informed, right? But
Right.
also the circles they run in, like they probably catch like water cooler gossip that most everyday Americans don't get. So,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure tons of people in Hollywood knew Trump was serious about running for president way before he ever did.
Exactly. We just weren't privy to that. Or we were just
Yeah.
like, there's no way.
So, I mean, yeah, I think they just have some like inside stuff and poke fun at people
For sure.
for like the
Yeah,
hot
I
goss
agree.
they just got. And they're like,
They
oh,
do. I mean, they're in the know, the
yeah.
Simpsons writers and creators for sure. So, I mean, it is a fun. It is kind of crazy and it is fun. And it's a little terrifying if you
Yeah.
want to know the truth. When you're like, life is like the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and they're all sorcerers
and they're all sorcerers. So,
and all part of QAnon or
oh
something.
God, let's hope not. Oh God, that was not a theory.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, well, if everyone in Hollywood is a part of QAnon, then it all makes sense. But I just don't think that's true. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm like, if every single powerful person in the world was all in the same group, yeah, they could control everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, I really went I took that theory on a whole nother level. But I was like, hey, it's fun. So yeah, I don't even know when The Simpsons comes on. It used to come on Sundays. I don't know if it still does or not, but yeah, so you have to check it out and see if any of their predictions come true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that they're wanting to colonize Mars.
No, no, agreed.
Like, I love how they completely abandoned colonizing the moon, like they wanted to do while when we were growing up. Didn't mom
Yeah,
even
I
enter
think
that
our moms,
sweepstakes?
yeah, mom signed us up to be the first family to live on the moon. I remember
Yeah,
that.
maybe mom will go to Mars. I don't know.
Yeah, mom, yeah.
Mom, you want to go to Mars?
She's like, finally, a vacation.
We'll have them write it into The Simpsons, and it'll
Yeah,
happen.
that's right. Simpsons writers, I know that you're fans of the show, so if you could just write our mom into that, it would be great.
Yeah,
She
we'll
loves space
appreciate that.
travel. Stream.
Yeah.
She would be a cute little Simpson.
Maybe I can try to do something with that night cafe.
That would be so awesome. Mom would be the cutest little Simpson ever. I love it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this far-fetched theory, and I look forward to see what you're gonna spin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Very very timely. I know, especially since like elections will be coming up and sooner than we want.
Yeah, it's
um
that time
it's going to
again.
be campaign season. So,
Our Wu-Tang signs going back out. That's our favorite. It's always like Wu-Tang for whatever year. People like literally stop and get their picture with
that's
it.
funny.
You gotta find the laughs.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to see what my topic will be next?
We do want to see what your topic's going to be.
Okay. Here we go. And you see, I have all of the topics here.
Oh my gosh. I see a lot of percenters choices again.
I always leave a lot of presenters' choices on there. You just never land on. Fine. Do you want to assign me a
Oh,
category?
you can do a percenter's choice. I'll allow it.
Because I don't care. I mean, the way I see this, I have so many ideas.
2, 3.
If you give me any topic, I'll
Well,
run.
you listen, you've got a percenter's choice, so take it home. Take it to the finish line.
Okay, I will.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. Get out there, wave those pride flags, do all the things. And as we say on our lovely podcast, stay safe out there
Stay curious.
and never, ever trust the
The
living.
living.
And maybe get your predictions on your life from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Either get outside and go have fun or only watch The Simpsons. Avoid
Yeah.
everything else and you'll probably be a happier
You'll
person.
be fine. And maybe go ahead and start that plant-based diet just in case the
Yeah.
apocalypse thing with
I
the
mean-
burgers.
I'm sure somebody out there would like to be a zombie, so you do you.
You do you. You live your best life.
That's what you want, you can be one.
Oh my gosh. No judgment here. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.